The 2024 wide receiver draft class is quite possibly the best and deepest we have seen in a long time. It's not inconceivable to assume that up to 10 guys could get first round consideration. Now, will 10 receivers get drafted in round 1? Well, in the words of Justin Bieber, never say never, but it seems unlikely. It's just an incredibly deep talent pool, and I'm here today to sift through and give you my top 10 wide receivers for the 2024 NFL Draft. Before we begin, if you enjoyed this video and videos like it, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more great videos just like this one. But first, let's go through some honorable mentions that just missed out on the top 10. Xavier Worthy, Malachi Corley, Johnny Wilson, Roman Wilson, and Ladd McConkey. Kicking off the list at number 10, I have Jalen Polk. Polk may not be the top shelf athlete who can separate into the upper echelons of an NFL draft class, but he's got competitive toughness, ball skills, and strong hands to serve as the hallmarks of his game. The Huskies receiver is easily having the most productive season of his career and is averaging a cool 17.1 yards per catch. Polk can be a fantastic complementary receiver right away, with the chance to evolve into something much more. At number 9, I have Adonai Mitchell. Mitchell has everything you were looking for in a boundary receiver at the NFL level. He has size, speed, physicality, and incredible catch radius with knowledge and understanding of sideline spatial awareness. Mitchell is having a fantastic season as the Longhorns' number 1 option in the passing game, and you have to think we are only scratching the surface of his potential as he spent the first 2 seasons of his career at Georgia in a run-oriented attack. At number 8, I have Brian Thomas Jr. Thomas's physical gifts are comically good. He is blessed with the kind of raw tools you typically only see with a user-created player on Madden. He's big, he's long, he's explosive, he's got good long speed, and oh, by the way, he applies those traits extremely well with his ability to track the football vertically down the field and adjust accordingly. Thomas is going to be a fantastic weapon for any quarterback at the next level. Remember this name. At number 7, I have Xavier Legot. 14 catches of over 30 yards. I could just leave you with that stat right there. Legot leads the FBS in that category by a wide margin. A simply outrageous statistic that I honestly had no idea existed. Legot only has 1 season of production under his belt, and he's a little bit of an older prospect, as he will be 23 by the time he's drafted. But oh man, Legot has an ultra blend of speed, size, body control, and big play ability. Don't let the production fool you. Legot could be one of the best from this draft class right away. At number 6, I have Troy Franklin. Franklin has the vertical separation ability, size, and open field explosiveness to afford a strong foundation for the NFL. I love how he's on the same page working to space with his quarterback, illustrating a football IQ that you'd have to think will only further be amplified as he matures. The maturation of his body and ability to fill out his frame will ultimately decide how lofty Franklin's ceiling will be as a playmaker in the NFL. But the more I watch him, the more Troy Franklin gives me big-time CeeDee Lamb vibes. Rounding out the top 5, we have Emeka Egbuka. Egbuka is the quote-unquote other Ohio State wide receiver in this year's draft class. But he shouldn't be completely overshadowed. Egbuka's production is down this season, but his 2022 season was a perfect example of what he could bring to the table. Egbuka brings great blocking ability, speed, and route running versatility. Egbuka is capable of winning down the field and over the middle, and he has great believability in his routes. Egbuka is this year's JSN, no pun intended. At number 4, I have Malik Neighbors. Neighbors has an incredible blend of ball skills, body control, and run after the catch ability that would be a welcomed addition to just about any offense in the NFL. He's not the biggest or the strongest, but he's a fluid player who delivers big plays in chunks and has showcased his great versatility. Neighbors is also surprisingly good in contested catch situations. He would be a fantastic complementary receiver that could eventually step into a number 1 spot when the time is due. Rounding out my top 3, we have Rome Odunsi. It's a real shame that there are 2 freaks of nature in front of Odunsi, because I really believe he would be wide receiver 1 in a few past draft classes. Odunsi is a silky smooth vertical route runner who has some of the best ball tracking ability and hands I've seen in quite some time. We've seen some tremendous growth from Odunsi since his redshirt freshman season, which begs the question, just how high is Odunsi's ceiling? Time eventually will tell, but I think we are looking at a true number 1 option at the NFL level right away. At number 2, I have Keon Coleman. Coleman is an absolute beast when tracking the ball in the air, and his size, length, and physicality all combine to create the profile of a dynamic, big play receiver. His high point ability is one thing, but you also see some super impressive body control from Coleman as well. Coleman has to continue to develop his game as a whole. He's on the right track, but how many 6'4", 215-pound receivers we've seen fail at the NFL level? Cough cough, N'Keal Harry. A more polished version of Coleman is a really scary thought. And rounding out the top of our list, to absolutely nobody's surprise, we have Marvin Harrison Jr. What can I sit here and say about Marvin Harrison Jr. that hasn't been said already? Despite having a terrible Maserati Marv nickname, thanks a lot, Gus Johnson, there's nothing to not like about Marvin Harrison Jr.'s game. There is a real chance that he will be the first player taken in the entire draft, and he would be an instant game changer for any NFL franchise.